This is Machuka Nyarieko TV Talk Show, where we analyze politics and governance issues. We focus on national, local, and international news. We examine the political way of our people, social and economic. Nyarieko TV Talk Show, the house of ideas.
Hello viewers, welcome this evening to Machuka Nyarieko TV Talk Show, the house of ideas, where we normally give ideas with a major aim informing our viewers and even political class and even policymakers. Today we will focus on one, the Ugandan President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's remarks during the launch of Raila Odinga's bid for African Union Chairmanship Commission in Nairobi State House. One of his remarks that attracted me is when Kaguta Museveni said that if you don't want me to speak this, never call me. It is you invited me to this function, so allow me to speak all. So, because our channel is all about informing you, what informs remarks, we try to explain why political actors behave in a given manner. Today, I will vividly explain why Kaguta Museveni gave these remarks, and the remarks were very intentional. But kindly, if you are watching this channel for the first time, subscribe so that wherever we produce another episode, YouTube will automatically notify you. And you can always give comments on our comment section. You can like our videos. Of course, all of those are free. The moment you subscribe, you empower us. Next time we shall be having another person, maybe assisting, a cameraman, and so on. So whenever you subscribe, you are empowering the channel, you are creating employment to our young population that has got no employment opportunities. Back to our topic. President Museveni has been a very good partner, or Uganda in general has been a very good partner to Kenya. Our relationship has been largely harmonious, apart from a few cases of conflictual, like the issue of Migingo, which I think is being solved amicably. But why do you think Museveni says that if you don't want me to speak this, kindly never call me to attend your functions? There are several reasons to attest to that. One of them is the bilateral engagement. The relationship between Kenya and Uganda, despite the fact that they are in the eastern community, has not been that so good. Because of trade barriers or restrictions, policies that, or protectionism. I think that is the right word I can use for this case, protectionism. To protect, that is, to protect goods from moving from one country to another so that you can enable your home industries room. This was majorly used by the colonial governments while they were colonizing Africa, such that the Africans were restricted to growing certain crops. Kenya has been a main exporter of products to Uganda. Even I personally have at least 2 or 3 years exported products from Kenya to Uganda, and I've gone to Uganda, even near to Museveni's home, and I've seen how they do their work. So Kenya being the main exporter to Uganda, this means there should be that good relationship, because we are getting a lot of money from this partnership or these trade exchanges. But here comes the question, why is Kaguta offended? Kaguta Museveni is offended because just products, goods and services such as eggs from Uganda have been protected from accessing the market in Kenya. And that is very important to me today. What does it mean when you protect eggs from your neighboring, actually a common market? It means where these people who are protecting you not to sell to them, it means they are either unable to produce those goods to compete in the market. That means there can be those eggs in Kenya, but they cannot be able to sell the same price as those in Uganda. For example, if an egg in Uganda is sold at 8 Kenyan shillings, you will find that in Kenya it is hardly you buy it for 14 shillings. So there is that difference. And what can an economist tell you? An economist will tell you to apply the theory of comparative advantage, whereby states, nations, regions or sub-regions will only produce those goods that they can produce using the lowest labor so that they can compete in the market. Kaguta was also complaining of sugar, because the sugar in Uganda cannot be sold in Kenya simply because of the prices. They are very cheap, while the Kenyan sugar is very high. You will think that Kenya and Uganda, Kenyans live in a different planet, and Ugandans in a different planet. Of course, most of the products, most of the chemicals that are used in Uganda are exported from Kenya. They are exported from Kenya. Now this begs the question, what should be done? Because Uganda being our chief main partner, do we continue to restrict their products from accessing the Kenyan market? Do we stop people of Busia border from buying eggs which are much cheaper in Uganda and continue consuming eggs which are of high prices? Do we stop people at the Kiganja, for example, Kihanja in Migori, from accessing goods from Tanzania which are little much cheaper and saving some of their sins? The Kenyan country should go back to the drawing board and lower the cost of production so that they can compete with our neighboring East African communities. You cannot produce products with very heavy, with the high prices, and then start putting protectionism to other neighboring countries. It is the duty of the Kenyan government to go back to the drawing board to know why is it that they are not able to produce eggs that can compete with Ugandan eggs, sugar that can compete with the sugar in Uganda, beer that can compete with that in Uganda, rice that can compete with that in Uganda, and address that issue instead of putting pressure in the name of protecting home industries. Usually there should be a free market, free movement of people from one region to another in the East African community. So it is the duty and the responsibility of the Kenyan government to improve its foreign policies by doing the right thing in the Kenyan soil, by providing the incentives necessary for lowering the cost of production. This may include electricity, oil, and of course people have been moving from Kenya to neighboring countries to look for energy, that is petrol and diesel, because of the differences in prices. Kenya is next to Indian Ocean than even Uganda. Uganda is a landlocked, but you'll find them selling much cheaper. So it is an issue of policy and governance that Kenya should look at, not stopping Ugandan eggs from accessing the Kenyan market. For Kenya to compete, it must lower its cost of production, because Museveni is liked more than 105% on his remarks that stop hypocrisy on foreign policies, stop being lazy and telling us not to supply products to our neighboring countries. Machuka Nyareko TV talk show. Kindly, you can like, subscribe, give a comment and a share, so that we can have a larger population. You will gain from these noble ideas. Thank you and have a pleasant evening.